I say, whoa, I am my father's son. Let the fusing run. Whoa, let that fusing run. Went off to college, but college done up me. Couldn't get my master's in truth and loyalty. Bang out the buzzword, teaching that blind man to say. You might get the best of him, but you'll never fool me. Now, sweet talk to beanstalk, tell Jack to go and fetch your bank. Try that and upstate board's a different kind of scene. Went off to college, but college done up me. Couldn't get my master's in truth and loyalty. I said, whoa, light that fuse and run. I say, whoa, I am my father's son. Let that fuse and run. Whoa, let that fuse and run. Whoa, let that fuse and run. Whoa, let that fuse and run. Went off to college, but college done up me. Couldn't get my master's in truth and loyalty. Bang out the buzzword, teaching that blind man to say. You might get the best of him, but you'll never fool me. Now, sweet talk to beanstalk, tell Jack to go and fetch your bank.
Yeah, what is up, 24/7 Buff Bandemonium? It is Tuesday. It is 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that can only mean one thing. It's time for the K-Gun Report right here on the Buff Fanbase Network, sponsored by 26 Shirts. Guys, what a show we have for you tonight. We have a very special guest, one of our favorite, Mr. Brad Lamb, joining us tonight. We're going to talk all about the heart attack game, as Brad said in the little intro we had before this. The heart attack game of the Monday Night Football win against the New Jersey Jets last night. We're going to talk about the big accusation we got today, the trade everybody wanted. We're going to preview the Tennessee Titans. We're going to do all sorts of stuff. We want to hear from you. We want your comments, your questions. We want to hear what you're thinking about the SpaghettiOs. Is it working? Is it not? I think it's working. We're going to hit this intro and give it all to you. Here we go. Here we are, and here it is on a Victory Tuesday of all things. The K-Gun Report coming right at you at 8:01 p.m. Guys, huge day, huge show ahead of you. So excited to have you with us. Get in the comments. Let us know what you're thinking. Right below us, our special guest of the evening, I think in the runnings for second most reoccurring guest on the show, Mr. Brad Lamb, ex-wide receiver of the Buffalo Bills. Brad, how you doing tonight?
What's up, Brad?
I'm doing great, guys. Being with you. I hope to be the number one guy.
Well, I mean, in our hearts, you know, it's just you and Mark, man. You and Mark neck to neck as far as favorite guests and most appearances. That's where it's at.
You're catching up, though.
Yeah, you're real
That's
good.
right. That's right.
Right next door up here, my brother from another mother, Mr. Scooter Magooter. Scott, what do you got tonight, buddy?
Oh, I got a drink. I got Big Ditch Day Burner. So I'm still kind of recovering from yesterday. I didn't drink yesterday. I'm going to celebrate today with you guys, the fans, the Bills Mafia. I'm going to celebrate that win. That was a tough one, but nonetheless an AFC East divisional rival that we needed to win. So we're there. Let's celebrate.
Hell yeah. Nicely done. Nicely said. Can't wait to talk all about it. Right diagonal kitty corner for me because we have 4 people on the panel tonight. That's my guy. You're looking at me like the Brady Bunch there, Jarrod. That's pretty sweet. My other estranged triplet brother, Mr. Jarrod Reed. Jerry, how you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing very well. It's my first time. I just unmuted my mic, so we're good now.
Oh,
no,
good.
I'm doing great. Hey man, it's the NFL, right? These games, there's going to be tough games, especially like what Scott said, the AFC East. What blew my mind was I think it was 22 penalties last game. That's crazy. Let's talk about it. Don't be
yeah, we'll get all into it. Looks like Brad's going to get himself situated. I think he just got home from dinner there, and then we'll get him right back on here. Let's say hi to some of our people here, right? We got Corey Blaine in the comments saying, "Where would you rather be than right here, right now?" I mean, doy, dude. Absolutely right here. You're goddamn right. We got Patrick Hughes. What's up, Mafia? Get to crack them beers and SpaghettiOs. What's up, Patrick? How you doing, brother? John's, wow, what a close one. I'm sure the refs had to soak their arms in an ice pack last night, dude. The penalties were out of control. I am usually one of those guys. It's like, I don't care. Call, like throw the flag if it's the call. I'm fine. Stretch the game out. I don't care. Last night, it was unbearable. Absolutely unbearable. I will eat crow on it. Maybe if all of the flags were correct, I'd be okay with it. But, I mean, you got future Hall of Fame quarterbacks getting penalties or getting hit and admitting that it wasn't a penalty and admitting that, like, if that's roughing the passer, like, we don't know what this game is anymore. And what do you do with that? Scott,
I have a take on this, guys, and I'm not sure if there's truth behind it, but it looked like it. There were so many bad calls early in the game that the refs kind of screwed themselves. It's almost like they had so many bad calls not starting with, but that roughing the passer. And then what was the other one? That fumble, that tuck rule? I don't know. Maybe there's such thing as a tuck rule. Yeah. But I feel like they got themselves in a situation where they got to a point where it's like, well, we got to call this now because we messed up. Oh, no, we got to call this now because we messed up. We got to make it look like we're not favoring another team, so we got to start calling these. What I saw is a lot of phantom calls for Buffalo and then a lot of legit calls for the Jets. I'm not being biased. Hold is a hold. You can't miss it. But that Spencer Brown takedown, that was just a pancake block and a half. That Epinesa put one arm down to lower the blow. I don't think that was rough. I mean, you can go on.
He was trying to get the ball.
Yep.
He was getting the ball with one hand and bracing himself with the other. So I don't know. Hold on here. I think we got Brad back now. You good, Brad?
I'm good, man.
All right.
I got a new phone, man, out here. I live in the country and it bleeps on me every now and then.
No worries, man. No worries. Glad to have you with us. We were just talking a little bit about saying hi to some of our guys in the comments here, but also talking a little bit about the officiating in last night's game. You got a take on that at all?
Yeah, I hated it.
Hottest take of the night.
Well, it's even when the other quarterback says he didn't, wasn't roughing the passer.
Yeah.
It shows you how bad it was. There's several different calls that I didn't think was called right. But you just never know when you're on the road, especially. You just never know what's going to happen. But we'll see. It ended up being okay. We end up winning the game, which is what matters. But officiation, it was bad.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. We got let's see, Harold Fuller in the comments saying, "Did anyone get traded today?" Yeah, a couple tiny names, little movement going on around the league. We're gonna get all into that, brother. Thanks for popping in the comments. We got our kid on the street, Eli, saying hi. And this just in, I didn't think we were gonna have Eli's lockdown pick tonight, but he got it in right under the buzzer because he's professional. And he got it here, and him and his mom. Thank you so much. I love having it for Tuesdays. Have you seen any of this kid's videos, Brad?
I have, man. I
Yeah,
love
he's the best.
absolutely awesome.
He's the best, man.
He is great.
We got Buffalo Spartan in the comments.
This is Sparta.
He says I'm on time. What's up, boys? Mafia mount up. Hell yeah. What's up, Spartan?
What's up, buddy?
Let's see. Oh, here's the question that everybody gets. You seen the SpaghettiOs thing that's been happening on this crazy page?
I have not.
So the guys in the comments started this side conversation like week 2, maybe week 1, about SpaghettiOs and meatballs, no meatballs, hot dog, whatever. I don't know where it all came from originally, but now they've been chugging SpaghettiOs before the games and sending us videos, and we've been posting them and doing all this crazy stuff. So your first question for the evening, Brad, is SpaghettiOs, meatballs or Franks?
Meatballs all the way.
The SpaghettiO chugs are 4 and 2. Our good friend Patrick is reminding us. Him and our friend Corey do the videos, and it's pretty good, man. Ridiculously crazy. They're trying to get me to eat them, and I'm just pushing it off. I'm pushing it off as far as I can.
Well, I have my dose during Sunday sessions, the pregame show, and I enjoy the meatballs especially. And when I opened them up the first time in a long time, they're all sitting at the top, so it's glorious.
Yeah, whatever they're made of just floats right to the top, man.
Yeah, next Sunday when you're watching the Sunday sessions, pay attention to Scott when he opens it, because you notice he doesn't look at what's in there, because if he did, he'd see all the grease and the fat and all that stuff.
Straight up, dude.
How are meatballs less dense than noodles? I don't know, but I trust
it. We got Josh Cook. Brad getting some love. Everybody, glad you're back on here, sir.
I appreciate it, guys. Love it every time I get a chance to do it.
Oh, yeah, we love having you on. Spartan, however, is he's a little mopey right now. He said he's only been on twice. I don't think that's true, Spartan. I think you've done some phone calls. I'm going to give you 4 times, I think, that you've been on the show. But let's update it. Come on the show, man. We miss you. Let's see. Harold says, biggest thing from last night was Josh Allen added the ability to roll left. I kind of noticed that a little bit, man. Like, he seemed a little more comfortable moving the pocket. Am I wrong? What do you guys think? Jerry, what do you think about that?
I think it's adaptation of the game. I think the Brady and him have realized that they're going to be trying to make him roll out the right side, not so much left. And instead of fighting against it, they said, screw it. Let's start moving the pocket left. We're going to be scrambling a lot. Let's move the pocket and keep it going and actually make it a benefit for us instead of something we're going to fight each week. So, yeah, I love it.
I love it.
It's going to open up a lot of things.
Great take, man. I love it.
If you notice, a lot of his rollouts to the right, they were actually dropping the defensive end and then making him run backwards, like he was losing 15, 20 yards when he threw it. He no longer can turn the edge and then turn his hips and throw the ball hard and run forward. So, yeah, great adaptation, Jarrod. Love that take on that.
Mm-hmm.
Which way did Allen go to win the game and run that to that first down?
Left.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they knew it was coming. They
drew that up in the dirt.
I told my wife before it happened, I said, this is where Josh needs to fake it and run it and get the first down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That close up on his face after he got it, I was like jumping up. I got a husky that I adopted here from a humane society like a couple months ago, March, I guess. And he's not used to games here yet. And I just jumped up, like, yeah, and I'm like beating my chest, and he's like, all over the place.
Let me piggyback off that real quick. Swank. Jarrod got a new dog when his dog was young. It was the game where I can't remember who sealed the interception against Tom Brady against the Patriots, and Jarrod yelled out this biggest yell and scream. And this puppy, you ever heard of those anal glands? Well, they released, and it was something nasty. Remember that, Jarrod? Yeah, he's frozen a little bit. But yeah. So that dog was not used to the Reed's household during football games either.
Well, thanks for that, Scott.
You're welcome.
What's up, Casey Nicole? Giving Scooter got those draft hats for us this year too, man. I almost wore that one tonight. I just like my camo one a lot. So.
Yeah, I do something special for the guys every year. I give them a draft hat when it comes draft time. So we've all got one.
He's the man. Catherine Marie, all the way from Connecticut. What's up, Catherine? Thanks for
Hey.
hopping on with us tonight. We got
Welcome.
Josh William. What were we going to say?
Welcome.
Oh, welcome. Gotcha. Lori saying, sorry about Eli's prediction. Schoolwork comes first. Mom is a total bummer. It's in your inbox for later. Lord, no big deal, Lori. You get it here whenever you can. I was just messing around with you. Absolutely. Eli, finish your schoolwork so you can stay up on Tuesdays and watch your prediction on the K-Gun, okay?
Yeah. That's what I was doing. That's what I was doing. I was looking down when the show started. I was editing it.
Nice. We got the best handle in all of social media. Nate Nacho, what up, Reed Boys, and Mr. Swanky. Amari is going to ball out. AFC totally up for grabs. Go Bills. Oh, God. We got so much to get into here. All right. Since we have the resident expert on the panel tonight, the man that knows all about the position, Brad, tell me, what do you think about this huge trade that Brandon Beane pulled off today, getting Amari Cooper in town for less than $900,000 for the rest of the season? What do you think?
He pulled a rabbit out of the hat's what he did. I tell you, man, that was pretty ingenious. I don't even think it was on the radar anywhere. Was he? I mean, it was totally out of the blue for me. When I saw it, I was like, you got to be kidding me. I didn't even know he was available for them to go get. I think he's going to be all. I mean, I was talking to you guys earlier about, Devontae Adams, but I tell you what, Amari fits our team so much better, I think.
Oh, yeah.
As far as our personality, he was traded to Dallas and play well, fit in there. You didn't hear any problems, concerns, issues. Then he goes there now where he's at and no issues, and now he's being traded. I just don't see him coming in and doing nothing but helping us. And he's a monster. I love it.
Well, he's humble and quiet. Like you're saying, you had no idea that there was a problem. The only thing that we knew was like there was certain pundits that were coming out saying, he can't be happy in Cleveland with the way that things are going. He's getting a little bit older. He's a prime trade target. And I had a little poll that I ran earlier. It was like, okay, after the Devontae Adams thing's over, and we all knew he wanted to go play with a winner like Aaron Rodgers. Like, I was like, well, so who do you guys want? Amari? Do you want Deontay Johnson was another name that was floating around. DK Metcalf was another one that was kind of getting out there. But I think that was a little bit longer of a reach than any of them. And then all of a sudden Cooper comes and it's like the missing piece to me on this offense is finally filled. And I couldn't be happier. He just seems like the perfect fit. He needs a change of scenery. We need his talents. Like, this is the thing that could push us over the edge. What do you think, Scott?
Hey, the Bills fans were pounding the table for a guy that can create separation and run routes. And this guy is top-notch route runner. He's not going to burn you deep, but he can burn you deep because he's good against the one-on-one 50-50 balls. But we got that guy that can run routes and create separation. Now, what I think this is going to do, and it's a beautiful thing, now Keon Coleman's going to be going against the second defensive back, and Khalil Shakir, no matter what, is going to have a lesser of a defensive player defending him. I'm not taking any credit away from the nickelbacks and linebackers, but Khalil Shakir definitely has the advantage. So it stretches things out, makes that playbook a lot more expandable for the Buffalo Bills. And one thing I do here is a third-round draft pick. We also get a sixth next year. We drop a seventh in 2026. Look for Beane by the end of the year to put an extension on this contract, if not after the season, because that's a third-round pick. I don't see many people getting rid of a third-round pick for a rent. So look for him to stay in Buffalo, especially if Josh and him can get together quick and create a relationship. I'm excited for it. Good pickup. Quiet, good, cheap pickup. Devontae Adams would have cost us $16 million, I think.
Yeah, I think. The Jets agreed to absorb all of what was left on his contract, and I think it was around 12.
12,
if I'm not mistaken. But yeah,
still money we don't have.
Yeah, exactly. It never was going to happen unless he was going to agree to take less and restructure. So, nuts. Jerry, what do you think, buddy?
Awesome trade. This guy is consistent. He's been consistent no matter what quarterback he plays with. So you can add in the fact that he might not have had a personal connection with the quarterbacks he's played with, but he's a football player who's played football with these quarterbacks. So 75 catches a year, almost 1,000 receiving yards per year last couple of years, 7, 8, 9 touchdowns a year. If he can just come in and do that and be a good football player, it's going to be awesome. But we all know how Josh is with his guys. He's going to have a connection with Josh, and it's going to blow up. It's not going to be for a couple of weeks. It's got to get used to each other. But this could potentially be halfway through the season, later on during the season, something that's huge. And again, it's going to open up, like Scott mentioned, Keon, Khalil, Dawson Knox, Kincaid. This is another threat that the Bills just added to a already potentially scary offense, especially, man, this run game this past game was freaking sick. But we'll get to that in a minute.
It's not going to help MVS out at all.
Yeah, he's gone.
He's gone. Yeah, he's gone. Brad, from your experience, like how long do you think, like a guy like Amari Cooper, is he going to be able to come in this week, learn enough of the plays because he's a solid veteran to where he's going to suit up and play on Sunday, you think?
Oh, yeah, I think he'll be out there on Sunday, no question. As far as how many reps he gets, I would say a lot that depends on, he'll probably come in tomorrow, I would assume, to the Bills facility and get to work. How quick him and Josh can get on the same page and understand each other is probably going to be more. He'll learn the playbook with no issues. I don't think he'll have a problem with that. But I think it's going to be more of just timing issues with him and Josh is going to be the key.
Yeah, I got to think that relationship, man, I want to believe it's going to be good. I want it to be so much better than the previous elite wide receiver that was. But
it will.
The beautiful thing about players that travel and get affiliated with a bunch of different offenses is that you do learn playbooks quicker. A route tree is a route tree. It now just becomes a connection, and if they can get that quick, it's going to be a beautiful thing.
Well, a lot of it's just, when you're talking about the veterans, they understand defenses. So they understand when you've got to convert one of your routes to something else. And as long as him and Josh are seeing the same thing, which should come a lot quicker with a veteran, I look for it to be pretty quick transition.
Beautiful.
That's what we want to hear.
Yeah, absolutely. Real quick, our kid in the street, Eli here. Can I be on like maybe week 9 or week 10? Eli, absolutely. I don't think we've ever talked about having you on for a full episode, but yeah, man, you can come on 100%. Just reach out to us and we'll figure it out. When is the San Fran game? What week is that?
I'm just looking that up now. I'll let you know.
We're going to that game, Brad. I think we told you before. Yeah, you should come up, man. Sunday night. It'll be a good time.
That would be a good time. That's going to be a good game too.
Yeah.
Week 9 is against Miami. Week 10 is against Indianapolis.
Oh, okay.
November 3rd and November 10th.
Oh, okay. Man, this season is just flying right by, man. Can't believe it. Oh, let's see. Lori says, Swank, you need to teach him to howl. Hey. Oh, yeah. Don't worry. I got you. Patrick said, Jarrod saving his words for later. That must have been when you froze up. We got Robbie from oh man, I always want to say let's talk 716, but I think it's Blizzard, right?
Yep,
Blizzard now. Yeah. What's going on, Robbie? How you doing, brother?
Hey, Robbie.
Oh man. All right, let's it's 8:21. Real quick, we are part of the Buff Fan Base Network and super proud to be the originators of the Bills Mafia. As such, we are sponsored by a little other way. There, 26 shirt. There you go, kind of. Yeah, all right. Jarrod actually was closer, but that's okay. We're sponsored by 26 Shirts. Go to 26shirts.com. See what Del Reed and the gang got cooking up. You'll get the freshest threads. You'll look fly. You'll help out a family in Western New York. It's a win-win-win-win-win-win-win-win-win-win-win-win. Go to 26shirts.com. Give them all your money.
.com.
I know we talked a little bit about this game last night, and it for sure was a stressor, man. Oh my God. But I think there was a lot of good that came out of this. There was some stuff that obviously we need to clean up, but Brad, I wanted to start with you, man. Overall, how'd you feel about this game? What'd you take away from it? How you feeling moving forward?
Well, I think it was definitely, anytime you can go into New York and play the Jets at home and beat them, to me is a nice little check mark, especially coming off, two defeats, one close there with, with Texans. I just wish we could have pulled that one off. You hate to lose two of those in the AFC like that, but still a long season to go. But I'll be honest with you, today really made me happy seeing that move, because I thought moving forward, some of these teams have kind of figured out what they could and couldn't do with some of our, receiving core. And then with Shakir out, I think everybody's seeing exactly how much he means to this team. And, like you said, gets that separations when needed, and, got that first down when we needed it. I know his ankles probably was still bothering him. He didn't look like he was fully 100%. But I think moving forward, we're in a good position. Defense played well. I was excited to see the fact that they got down the red zone. What was it, 4 or 5 times, and we kept them out of the end zone. Great to see Taron Johnson back. My gosh, man, I was so happy to see him and Bernard back. Overall, I thought we played well. We got to quit some of these silly penalties though that we get, especially these personal fouls that are getting called. It just shoots yourself in the foot. But if we can clean that up a little bit, play a little more smarter and cleaner football, I think we're going to be in good shape.
The penalties, man, absolutely, all great takes, but the penalties are something that, like, in the beginning of the game, Spencer Brown was over there and he was doing his thing, shoving, pushing. He was over wherever Josh was. He was over there and he was doing his, this is my guy, protect the quarterback bit. And my wife kept saying, like, you better calm down, Spencer, blah, blah. And I was like, no, I love it. I love it, man. He gets right. That's great. And then all of a sudden, a lot of people thought he caught 8 penalties last night. It actually wasn't all that bad. And the formation penalties aren't really on him, right? Like, were we talking about this, Scott? Right? Like, yeah, he just, wherever, they used him as a reference for the illegal formation. So those two weren't him. But I think what was happening was, man, he was chipping it up with everybody. And my eye was drawn to it all night long. The refs had to see it. So then I think when that block came, it was like, this is enough, like, whatever. And God, it drove me nuts because I thought that was a beautiful play. I didn't think there was anything wrong with that at all. I thought it was an aggressive, I am the guy kind of play. But I agree. I think just need to calm it down.
Yeah, I think if you also with Deion Dawkins, I love the fact that he went right on top of that guy and slammed him. But you try not to draw attention to yourself prior to those plays happening.
Yeah.
And the way he talked all week long and the way these guys were acting with the chips on their shoulder, which is fine in a certain sense. But when you're drawing that to yourself early in the game, that just, refs, look at me. Hey, refs, look at me, look at me, look at me. And you're just, eventually you're going to get caught.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see his Twitter post today, guys? Oh my God. Deion made videos of, like, wrestling. I don't know. I don't watch much wrestling. The guys in the comments, man, Patrick and Corey and all those guys, they're big wrestling fans. But he posted, like, pasted his face on Stone Cold Steve Austin's body. All these videos of him just beating the hell out of all these Jets guys that he's been talking junk about for 2 years.
I did see those videos. That was him that posted it, though?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Deion is the one that he posted one right after the game, and then he was like, he posted another one today. He was like, all right, I'm done now. But it was like just whooping on him. it was good stuff, man. But
you gotta love him. You gotta love him, I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's like, to your point, man. It's all great, but you do it that openly, publicly. They're looking for it now. Like, okay, we know there's a rift here. There's gonna be something's gonna happen, and something did. So I don't know.
Did you guys notice he was the first one off the field after the game?
Yeah, he went straight to the locker room.
He may have been instructed to do something.
I think so. I think maybe McDermott was like, get your ass.
Because last year him and Clemens had at it.
Yeah, right in the tunnel.
Right in the tunnel.
That's right.
So, and that chippering was still going on at the end of the game. So,
well, even in the locker room interview with Deion, he was talking junk about how Josh juked him. That was the player he beat on the left side to get that.
Yep.
It was funny. But anyway, Scott, real quick, because we got Brad on and we're rolling here. It's almost 8:30 already. Give me what you took away from this game last night and what you thought about that win.
Okay, well, it's not often you can you go through a learning process and still come up with a win. We learned a lot of things. Shakir's not 100%. He may not even be 50%. He was just there helping the team. So we learned yesterday that we needed a number one receiver for sure. I claim he is the number one receiver there, but he's not going to be 100% that whole season due to the fact it's a high ankle sprain, and it's really hard to recover from that 100%. So we answered that problem. And then we found out, guess what, guys? James Cook is a flashy running back out of the backfield. He's got the speed to get to the edge. But now we got someone that can run up the middle, put his helmet down, and gain 2-3 yards no matter where he gets hit behind the line of scrimmage. Ray Davis put on a show. He showed he can catch the ball out of the backfield, and he shows that if we need a spark plug in there to slow down the game and wear down that defensive line, we've got that guy. We've learned 2 things yesterday, big things, and still come up with a win. That's a win-win-win in my book, and it was a scary game, but you love to get stuff out of the game to teach you for the later season. It was a beautiful thing.
Scott's win-win-win take brought to you by 26shirts.com. Win-win-win-win. Now, you're right. You're absolutely right, dude. I would dare to say that Ray Davis needed these first 6 games or 5 games to ramp up to be the guy that he was last night too. That was a tough defense that they were playing. They're a little worse against the run, but man, they leaned on him. And
number 2 overall in the league. Swank.
Yeah. I mean, to put the whooping on him that we did last night, and hey, your turnover-prone quarterback also no turnovers so far in the season, knock on wood. And but Ray Davis, man, falling forward. I heard Sal Capaccio talking about that today. Every coach, high school, college, everywhere should be telling them to watch video on this guy, because when he was done at the end of a play, it was all forward. He was getting 2 extra yards just like keeping that momentum and falling forward every time. Great story. Most yards from scrimmage of any rookie all season long so far.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome. Jerry, what do you got to say, man? What do you think about this game last night?
Yeah, stressful to say the least, but something that I learned, and I think a lot of Bills Mafia learned, that although Dorian Williams and Bernard are great linebackers, Taron Johnson is the missing link there at linebacker. And when he got going, when he started to get going, you saw later in the game, flying the ball, tackles for losses. That interception was amazing. How he caught that, I don't even know. But those 3 guys now, if they're starting to click now, it's perfect time. And, we hope Matt Milano returns in December. What's it going to look like when he does? But these guys filling in right now are doing a standout job. Them closing on the run. I think Taron Johnson was the first one that did it. And it felt like that linebacker core was like, oh, he's flying to the ball. Well, I want to fly to the ball. Yeah. And then they all started just going. It was a beautiful thing to watch as the game was going on. That defense is looking good now.
He's 100% a leader. And I think what everybody forgot about while we've been worrying about the offense is that the defense is now 1 player away from being 100%. Yeah. Hopefully Eddie O comes back this week and there you go. But God, Jones showed up. Carter showed up again. I was not worried about the interior of the defense yesterday at all. There definitely was some times where I wish, I knew that Breece Hall play was going to come. It seems like they're good for at least one of those every single game this season, the big play. But shoring up, like Brad was saying, to your point, red zone, making sure they had to go for 3 if they were down there most of the time. And then luckily got a couple double doinks, and there you are. Here we are sitting here. Real quick, and this doesn't have to be a long thing, but Brad, starting with you, man, what do we do with Bass? Are we good, or is it worth it at this point of the season to start looking somewhere else?
Good question, but I want to throw something in there before. The one thing I hate about that game was the Hail Mary.
Yeah.
My gosh, come on. I mean, how many times are we going to let people catch that ball and only bring in 2 people? I know we're trying to defend the sidelines, but, man, don't just let him sit back there and just throw it free willy whenever he wants to and hold it forever. Man, that would be nuts. But anyway, okay.
Hold on. Now I got it before you go.
Yeah, we got to have a little say in that now too, Brad.
Hold on, because I forgot completely about that, and I have it written down right here in my damn notes.
Good segue.
Why? I know you rush 4, you get pressure with 4, it's great. You're not consistently getting pressure with 4. When you rush 5, you are. and you got old man Rodgers in the background, and anytime there was one extra dude, he was done. So why be conservative there? Rush 5 guys at him. You had 2 defensive ends sitting where linebackers sit just in case for whatever reason. Like, rush them at this old guy, flush him out of the pocket. He's not
Let
as
him
mobile as
run.
he was. Yeah, he would not have thrown on target. Maybe 32-year-old Aaron Rodgers might have done that, but this version is not doing that. I would put your foot on their throat, go right at them. That's what I would have done. But
Here's something to chew on real quick, Swank. A 40-yard dash between these receivers average about maybe 4 or 5 40-yard dash, right? They were 60 yards out, which adds about 7 seconds total. Quarterback should not be able to hang on to the ball for more than 3 seconds or 4 seconds with a 4-man rush. So if you bring that 5, by the time you get to them, they're only halfway down the field. They're not settling in the end zone. So, yeah, right. If it's a 60-plus yard Hail Mary, bring some pressure.
Yeah.
It takes them 8 seconds to get down there to the field. Bring
I
it.
never understood that. If you know they're throwing a Hail Mary, put pressure on that quarterback. Don't let them sit there, get comfortable, let those receivers get set up, and then throw it. Blitz them. Make them run. Do something.
that's kind of what's messed up
And
about
put
the
Matt
analytical part.
Collins and Keon Coleman back there, 6'4" guys that can jump.
Yeah, and they said that was a consideration now moving forward, that they'd put like Coleman back there or whatever, which I don't know, based on the bombs that he's dropped here in the early parts of his season, maybe not quite yet, maybe next season, but yeah, I don't know. The guy's known for it. The guy makes his bread and butter, and we're known for not swatting and trying to catch it. So why even let it get to that point?
There's a recipe for disaster, right? When they said it was going to happen. Hail Mary, son of a bitch.
All right. So anyway, Bass.
Look what you did, Brad. Look what you did.
What do you think about Bass, Brad?
Okay, I won't say nothing else about anybody else.
No,
I'm kidding. I mean, I'll be honest with you. From not being there at that game, you know, if they were saying there were some 60-mile-an-hour winds in one end of that end zone and swirling around and different things, I mean, you know, their kicker that even kicks there all the time missed 2. So, you know, I don't know if I would put it all on his shoulders right now and say that game should determine, you know, the rest of his career with Buffalo. I say let's bring him back home this week. Let's see how he does back at home. And, you know, I'm not giving up on him yet. I'd say, yeah, a little bit of concern. I definitely, you can't say there's no concern there at all. But I think he's going to be okay. And I think we still wait a little bit longer on that.
All right, you convinced me. I'll give him a break.
You know, while you were saying that, it made me think of another guy that people were calling for his jersey. God, probably ended last season, even in the beginning of this season. But Tyler Rapp, a lot of people were thinking like, yeah, this guy doesn't belong here. He's too aggressive, or he's too this or that. That guy saved your whole game last night. If you're asking me, man, those
MVP
pass
of the defense
breakups,
easy.
yeah. And a quick point I wanted to bring up. Dude's wearing the Guardian cap. He's had multiple concussions. He's coming back from another one, and he is still flying around the field, just laying the hammer down. I got to think, like, to me, like a guy that comes back and gives it his all without any hesitation after those kind of injuries and is trying to protect himself, but still going, I don't know. I got nothing but respect. And the guy can be a safety here all season. I think he earned it for sure last night.
He's made a small change though. Every one of his hits were very clean and not head hunting.
Yes.
He did not lead with his head once. So he's making a few changes in his hitting style.
Yeah. And where he's going is jarring the ball out. So I love that.
His timing's perfect.
Oh, it is.
Last night. I mean, the timing was absolutely perfect. So that was awesome to see.
Yeah.
It wasn't long ago, guys. He was a safety for a Super Bowl champion football team. So
that's right. All right, guys, it's 8:36. You guys have been killer in the comments. We got 880 of you tuning in right now. Please throw your comments, your questions. We got special guest Brad Lamb right here on the panel, and we're going to change gears a little bit and look forward here into which is a 1:00 Sunday game against the Tennessee Titans at home after a 3-game road stretch, which, you know, a lot of us wish we would have came out a little better on. But I think if somebody told you going into week 7, you're 4-2, you'd be very happy to take it, especially with the kind of schedule that the Bills had leading up to it. So getting to the Tennessee Titans, again, 1 p.m. game, home at Highmark Stadium. Brad, offensively, what are you looking for out of the Buffalo Bills? What kind of statement are we making going into this home game after a 3-game road stretch?
Well, I think we're still going to rely on some of that run game that we just saw, whether it's, Cook back in the ball game or Davis, who just showed us phenomenal talent that kid has. My gosh, that was awesome to watch. Because I think the Titans, their passing defense is pretty strong. But I think their defensive line's got some work to do. So we might be able to exploit a little bit there with our offensive line. If they can move the Jets like they did, they should be able to move the Titans as well, I would think. And then we'll see what Amari does and how they're going to play him. Should free up the other guys a little bit too, and Josh is going to be Josh. So I think it's got a good test on their defensive side, but I think our defense will handle their offense pretty good. So I'm looking for a good game, but hopefully not a nail biter like this last one.
You ain't kidding, man. I like it. Jerry, what do you think, man? What's our offense? What's the plan going into this home game here?
No, Brad said it. Keep running the ball. We've shown it a lot this season that they're looking for the running backs to take big parts in these games. And what a crew that we have. We have, Ty Johnson, Davis, and Cook. That's probably the best running back tandem or threesome you could ask for in the whole league. And it's a wonderful thing, but it's keep establishing the run. I don't know if you guys noticed Josh Allen's eyes and his facial expressions for the beginning of this Jets game, but it was different. It was confident. He was smiling. He wasn't nervous at all. It was beautiful. He has to carry that on for this offense, and you'll tell right away if he's got it, because obviously they like to focus on him, but giving the running backs the ball and having them establish this game is going to be big. And I can't wait to continue to watch this running game. Just boom. And Josh Allen's partaking in the running game. Like you said last week, Swank, he's got to eat too. And all these guys are eating, especially the run game. We want the receivers to get a little bit more meal time, but the running backs are doing their jobs right now. It's a beautiful thing at forward too.
It helps open everything else up. I mean, if the run game is going well and the short game, Josh is taking what the defenses are giving him, the short game. Look at how different last night looked, even though, again, it was a lot more dramatic than we wanted with the Hail Mary and all this other stuff. But if you took out some of those like irregularities, we had this game pretty well handled for the most part. It was just like those stupid plays, and they're part of the game. But like, this team looked a lot different than it did the previous 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And you were 100% on about Josh's eyes, man. When you can tell at the beginning of the game, they're bugged out huge. Like he's, oh God, here we go. Hero ball Josh, man. Like, and last night it was more, here we go. Chip away, get what you get. And then, you still get those big plays. You still get those Ray Davis wide open down the field, rolling right. You can still get them because you've already established a foundation. And that's the kind of stuff like that's really going to elevate Josh Allen. He doesn't need to do that all the time. He only needs to do it when it matters.
Yeah.
So yeah, great take.
What was so cool about that play too, when they were showing, rewinds of that, and you seen Davis hopping up and down, waving his arms down the field.
Yeah.
I mean, he was so excited. Throw me the ball.
Yeah, man.
That was fantastic. I got more joy out of that, I think, than anything.
When I saw that play, when he was sitting there jumping down the field going like this, the first thing I thought about was if he would have just put his hand up and just kept running, he would probably
touchdown. Probably would have got a touchdown. Yeah.
Probably.
You're slowing down when you're doing that. The defensive guy caught up to you.
Well, he's not the tallest guy. He probably wouldn't make sure Josh seen him,
Yeah. God.
That was awesome.
Scooter, what do you think, buddy?
Offensively, Joe Brady, you need to already take what the defense is going to give you. Like Brad said, the pass defense is pretty good. I think they're only allowing 140 passing yards a game, which is pretty amazing, but the run defense is a bit weaker. And our Buffalo Bills run the ball so far this season more than they pass the ball. So don't be too funny with your plays. Don't be too cute.
Yeah.
Take already what you know, study and film that you can run against this team, and give Amari Cooper. He's a great blocking wide receiver. Leak him in. Give him some Bills Mafia experience in this home game. And if you need him, use him. But don't be too cute. Do what's been working for us. If James Cook comes back, show us what this offense can do with those two running backs, because I think this offense can be very dangerous. But again, you can't be cute.
To that point, man, just a general question to you. What would you expect with what happened today and where we're going, and knowing Josh Allen? What would you expect he would want to do right off the bat as soon as they got the ball on Sunday? What would you think the first play he'd want to do is?
Oh, it'd be a route.
Bomb it to Cooper, right? Prove that point. And to me, man, what you're saying, he's a blocking wide receiver. He's new. I would sing him to sleep with that. I'd put him out there to block for a little while and then send him later on, man, when they're not expecting it, when you kind of lull them to sleep and you're moving other places and you don't need to use them. You show them that, and then you send it. Like, I think he's the Texan game, it was more about proving to Diggs that he didn't need him. It was like, oh, I don't need you. You moved on, and now whatever. My new girlfriend's better than yours, or whatever. Like it was too much of that story, that hype, that excited puppy kind of thing. I think with this man, yeah, methodically, if you just eased him in and gave him what he could take, and then send him one time.
I think the Bills Mafia would lose their ass if he just did a real quick curl route, showed everybody the separation he can get, and then he piled up yards after catch. He's a great route runner. So I would love to see him go deep, but I want the Bills Mafia to see this guy can do the route running, get the separation that you've been asking for, catch the ball, turn upfield, and get a first down. They'll be just as loud as if he completed a 50-yard pass.
Absolutely.
He's a big receiver too. I mean, I don't think people realize how stout he really is. So his yards after catch are going to be huge.
Yeah, 100%. I love it, guys. It all sounds good to me. I think also continue getting these tight ends involved. Working them in, getting them the ball. And yeah, healthy dose of the run game. Even it out, balance it with some nice opportunities down the field. This team's going to be just fine. I love these games. I love these kind of day after game shows. Yeah. These are the best, man. Defensively, I'm real quick. I'm just going to throw my 2 cents in here. We have, if not the best, one of the best top 5 secondaries in the entire NFL. If you're asking me, Christian Benford is ranked as the best corner in football right now. And Rasul Douglas is a beast on the other side. And now you got Taron Johnson back. Those guys are, they're fine. Send some pressure, get some pressure on the quarterback. That's what we need right now. And I don't care if you need 5 guys to do it or not, because those 3 gentlemen that I just listed off, combined with Taylor Rapp and even DeMar Hamlin back there, who's been pulling his weight. I know a lot of people didn't appreciate his effort last night as much as they have other games. I still think that he's playing at a caliber that's average, if not slightly above. So the secondary, I think, can do its job to give you that coverage that if you send 5, you're going to make that quarterback's life a living hell. And Levis is that guy that is like young, dumb Josh Allen from way back when.
Yep.
He likes to make a hero ball the gospel. So I think you put a little pressure in his face and good things are going to happen.
Yep.
So that's my take on the defense. Brad, what do you think? What's the defense got to do?
I think I like that idea, because what I've seen in the 2 losses that we had was the quarterback had all time to throw. And I don't care how good your secondary is, if you're giving them 5 or 6 seconds to get rid of the ball, we're going to get beat. You just can't stay with receivers in this league that long. It's just not going to happen. So I agree. We got to get more, and we got the guys to do it. That's what's frustrating sometimes is, it's 2 great defensive ends. I know we was missing Oliver, in the game yesterday, which I think, hurt some in that sense. But, Smoot stepped up, did a good job in there, I thought. So our guys played well, but we got to get pressure on that quarterback, especially on them passing downs where they're just not having all time, all day to throw the ball. So I think that's key, and tighten up in our run defense a little bit is another one. And I think that, 4 or 5 man pressure can do both.
Yeah.
Yep.
The only scary part, a little bit, I love the way, and I'm not even thinking it was number 42 out there is young linebacker that took Milano's spot.
Dorian Williams.
Yeah, Dorian. The only criticism I love the way he plays. I mean, I love his enthusiasm and the fact he just wants to hit you. But I think he sometimes gets carried away with wanting to do something so fast that he can get caught and get burnt. Sometimes, because he's over pursuing or he's trying to get somewhere too fast and reads it wrong. But so if we can kind of shore that up a little bit there and get pressure on that, I think defensive wise we'll be fine, and I think offensive line we're going to be just fine.
I love that. Yeah. I think Epinesa had a little bit of that. I always used to say he was kind of like a puppy where his back legs were faster than his front legs. He seemed like he was trying to go too quick, and sometimes he would run past it. And I liken that to what you're saying about Dorian Williams, and I can see it. I think he's had a pretty solid season this far, but he does the over pursuits or the yip or whatever it is that just like gets in his head. I think you're right. It's a good tip.
Well, he's fast, I mean, I like his quickness. I mean, you want somebody like that can go laterally and can move like that. So I think the more he gets the opportunity to learn, the game it'll come to him, because I think he's a good enough player that's going to happen, and I'm hoping that process just speeds up a little quicker.
Yep. Scooter, what do you think, man?
It's funny Brad brought up Dorian Williams. I have fear of the middle of the field. Hamlin and Rapp are destroying the middle of the field. Nothing's going deep on them. And we saw what happened in the red zone offense when someone puts their hands on the ball. They're there, putting their helmet on the ball, wreaking havoc. And I also have Bernard and Williams. If Williams could calm down a little bit, you'll find that a lot of these between the hash catches, right outside the hash in basically a third of the field, a lot of those 15, 20-yard catches is Dorian Williams getting beat. Because he's stepping up for the run and he wants to be the first guy there.
Yeah.
If he can hone that in, like Brad said, you're going to fear the middle of the field. There's not an offense that's going to want to throw the ball there because of the linebackers that we have in coverage and our safety. So bring that to the table, stop the run for the defense, and I think we'll be all right. But that defense is coming along very nicely.
Well, if you think there was one play in particular I seen where Dorian, I don't know if he was kind of caught looking at the QB, but also trying to catch where he was dropping in his zone. And if he would just stuck his hand up, he would have knocked the pass down.
Yeah.
End up being a complete pass. So, it's just those small little twerks. Like last week, Bernard turning off of his guy and then making that interception because he understood the game and where he needed to be more so than trying to play it by what I see. You do what you know and where you're supposed to be. So, it's those things that sometimes it just takes a little bit of time. It's the nose for the football. It's it's your IQ, football IQ, and down and distance and situations and studying your film and things of that nature. And of course, we're not in the locker room. We don't know how often he studies, how much he studies. But obviously, he's starting there, so the Bills see something in him and that he's doing things right. And I think he's a tremendous athlete. So I think he's got a ceiling is for him.
I love it. I love it. Jerry, got anything to add to this?
Yeah, this is one of the games we're playing Levy here, and he's young, and this is the first game in a while that we haven't played a veteran quarterback. So I think the defense should blitz him a little bit, take away his first read, and if they do that, they're going to wreak havoc. Now he can run the ball. He's a good running quarterback. He's not afraid to do it. Like you said, Josh Allen back in the day. Some decisions weren't the best, but he still is young, so he doesn't make the best decisions when he's running, but he also is going to make the mistakes when he's passing the ball if you take away that first read. And I think this week Dorian's going to do well. Again, he's that puppy that's going to go, but I think that's going to actually benefit it this week against a young quarterback. The guy that scares me, obviously, is Tony Pollard. He's a great running back. He can get up the field quick. You got to stop him up the middle. And again, having our linebackers back, Taron Johnson's the big piece here that can end that running game pretty quickly. So pressure Levy. Is it Levy or Levi? How do they pronounce it over there in Tennessee?
Levy.
Okay. Yep. Pressure him. Put him on his butt, and I think we'll take away his first read and we'll be just fine.
I think one of the things that reminds me of is, it seems like the things that we get the big yardage plays on a lot too is these screens, and Pollard's one of those guys that can catch the ball well too. So
Yep.
I think we got to be careful on him just leaking out and then hitting him on that screen right there again, where your middle linebacker is probably going to be the one having to read that particular part of the field. So hopefully there's a lot of film watching on this, and we get that handled.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
Absolutely.
think Bernard's the guy to do that. Hopefully, man. I mean, he's been pretty stout at slicing through and hitting them holes when he needs to, and I don't know. It's just been great having him back. So
It's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. All right, guys, that's your game right there. 1 p.m. Sunday. Wow, can't believe it. You actually know the fate of the game right off the get. It's like the good old days, you know what I mean? 1 o'clock games. Let's hit a quick X Factor and then a score prediction. And Brad, you want me to start with you? You want to be last?
I'll go last. How about that this time?
All right. Jerry, what do you got, buddy? Give me an X Factor and a score prediction.
The X factor again is going to be getting after Levy there. I think Epinesa showed that he could do it this week. Russo's got to come through and start playing a little bit. He got those sacks right off the bat. The season really hasn't produced much numbers anyway. He gets the pressure, but I think the X factor is going to be the 4-man rush or the 5-man rush, the pressure on this quarterback to make him make mistakes.
Sweet. Score prediction.
Let's go. I think they're playing a tough defense, but I think the addition of Mari Cooper and this offense is going to continue to roll with the running game. Let's say 35-10.
Oh, you set that up like you had a little respect for him.
No, I mean, they have 700 yards passing this season. Their running game, they have 400 yards rushing with Pollard. It doesn't really, it can be potentially dangerous, but they haven't done anything yet with it. So I think the defense is honing in right now, getting everybody healthy. They're going to continue to shut players or teams down. They're going to keep them to 10 points. And then again, I think Allen and that run game is going to continue. It's going to open up a lot of things. So 35. Yep, 35-10.
Chris Christian with the comment of the night. Homer. Uncle James says X Factor Cooper. Harold says turn the quarterback into mayonnaise. Corey Blaine says X Factor Group Bills win 32-17. Scott, what do you got, buddy? What do you think? What's your X Factor and score?
My X Factor is actually going to be the Bills Mafia, and I'm saying this not because I'm,
always do this stuff.
The thing is we've been on the road for 3 straight weeks. We haven't been able to rowdy up a quarterback, and now the fact that we're playing a younger guy, not a veteran quarterback, the guy that's struggling 7 interceptions this year and doesn't appear to be tying in with anybody on his offense. Let's frustrate him by him not being able to call his offense, call his audibles, check out of plays, anything like that. That's the best way to frustrate him. And the Mafia can do that very easily. We finally got a home game after 3 weeks. It's been a month, guys. So create the noise. Let's hear the announcers say, man, you can't hear nothing in the stadium. I just when you're sitting at home, guys, watching the games, you know it. You can hear it on the TV. It's like, wow, we're loud today. That's what I want. And I think that's going to be the X factor. We jump on these guys quick. Joe Brady knows what to do when we're up on the team, and so does Babbage. So let's do that. 35-17. That's my score. I do think it's going to be a high-scoring game for Buffalo. I think they're going to jump on it quick, and these 17 points are going to come late in the game when they're trying to come back. But I think the Bills Mafia, you're up, my friend.
I like it. Brad, I'm going to make you do a hard follow, man, because we have our kid in the street, Eli, with his lockdown. And
you said you wanted to go last.
I gotta play it, man. I gotta play it. So here you go. You guys have all been waiting. Our guy Eli, 4-2 on his predictions in the season. Has had special guests such as William Matar in his videos. Has gotten responded to by the great Kyle Brandt in comments to his videos and takes. He is way more famous than any of us and deserves all of it. We love him to death. Here's Eli's winning lockdown.
What's up, Eli?
Hey, welcome to Eli's winning lockdown. luck. The Titans have the losing record. Prediction 31-14.
Whoa, like it.
I give one of the most special shout outs to Amari Cooper for being the newest Bills wide receiver. Oh, I think I got some Buffalo on the brain. Special shout out to Glenn Goodberry for this awesome hat.
Nice.
Shout out to 26 Shirts, official retail of the Bills Mafia, babes. And as always, peace.
Peace. There he is.
That's our guy right there. Eli's winning lockdown with the blowout. He always, man, he brings it, dude. He brings it every week.
Very animated for sure.
Yeah. Lori, I just saw this too. Gabe Davis actually responded to one of his videos because Gabe is his favorite wide receiver. Yeah, great kid, man, and we love having you. And Lori, thank you so much for helping him out and letting him be a part of this. It's very cool, and he's the guy. So with all that being said, Brad.
Eli, you're the man. Oh, well, I tell you what, his prediction was pretty close to mine. I say 31-17. So I got Bills 31-17. But my X factor is I think that Kincaid is going to finally have his game of the year this week. And so that's what I'm looking forward to see. Hopefully Amari's out there and that'll draw a little attention, and maybe that's going to open up the middle of the field a little bit more for our buddy there. And so I'm going to put the X factor in there as Kincaid. So we'll see what happens. And let me do another thing here, because they're talking about Bills Mafia. See, I can't choose them as the X factor because they bring it every time it's home game. So I shout out to them now because they've always been great. We love Bills Mafia, man. They're wonderful, and they travel well too. So
Nice. Good one, man. See, now you just piled it all on me. You did a good one, and now I got to follow too, and that's great. Yeah, guys, my X factor. It's hard to pick. I think just one after 4 people have gone in front of you, but I think Khalil Shakir coming back. He was a little quiet. He did what he had to do this last week. I think there's going to be so much focus on Amari Cooper that if Khalil can do what he does on a regular basis, it's going to open up a lot, and it's going to be back to where you don't know who to cover when. We got a good running game going. We got the short game going. We got these tight ends firing it up. You got Khalil good, and now you got a dominant number one like Amari Cooper. So I think I'm going to say Khalil Shakir, man. Josh connecting up with him, put him up over 100, and then give Amari 100 too. It's garbage time though, because we've already just won the game. It doesn't matter. And my score, I went a little less. I went 24-13. I was trying to be responsible adult of the group. I wish I hadn't now. I wish I would have went 40, but 24-13 as it's posted on my notepad right here. Uncle James says 27-13. Patrick Hughes, dude. SpaghettiOs. We're into overtime. Here we go, folks. We're in overtime. That's right. We're in overtime. It's 9:01 p.m. because we're a little bit unprofessional and we go over our time, but the fan base is really great to us and they let us do it, and we're grateful. So please follow the Buff fan base and 26shirts.com to win. Let's see here. Kathleen Carlson says, "Go Bills." Hey, Kathleen, thanks for joining us. I think you're a new name. How's it going?
No, she's been here.
Has she? Oh, my bad. Sorry, Kathleen.
She's been missing for a little while, but she's one of the OGs.
That's what it is. Oh, yeah. Oh, my bad, Kathleen. Thank you for coming and being here and being a part of it. Josh says 38-10 Bills. Let's see. Joey Hatch. What's up, Joey? 31-17 Buffalo Bills win. Nice. All right, we got a couple pick'ems that we're gonna do. We forgot them last week. Jared let me know. I didn't realize that. I don't know what happened. It's probably because Jerry wasn't here. It's all his fault. We got 999 watching right now. We got one more. It's probably gonna click over to 1,000 any minute. Probably 1,001. There we go. Thank you so much for all your viewership.
Thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Mom. All right, we picked the AFC East games, and then I picked a toilet bowl game. That was pretty much it. There wasn't really any other AFC games that were of interest. It's kind of a mixed bag. A lot of AFC versus NFC this week. So New England at the Jags. Brad, what do you think, man? Patriots at Jaguars.
Well, I know that the Jaguars are having a little bit of issues as well this year. I'm going to pick New England. Just because I kind of like May, the new quarterback there. I know his dad actually, so maybe I'm a little bit prejudiced.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I like the kid. I mean, 3 touchdowns, but 2 interceptions. He's still young. He's learning the game. But I'm gonna lean to them this week.
I like it. What do you think, Jerry?
Yeah, I'm going to go with New England too. Jacksonville just can't seem to get anything going, and I know New England gets one here and there. So, and for what Brad said, if he knows a guy, he's got to be a good guy. So I'm going to go with New England with May.
Scooter, what do you think?
I would go the Patriots, but they're in London, so that's a rookie quarterback traveling. I'm going to pick Jaguars. It's their home game, so Jaguars in this one.
Always looking for that edge.
And they've been there for 2 weeks. How do they always get to play 2 games in London? I never did understand that.
And last year, the Bills game was considered a home game for the Bills game. That was kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. And Matt Milano got hurt.
Yep.
Yeah.
Damn it.
I'm having a flashback. I think you were on before that show last year, Brad, and we were complaining about it a lot because it was like it wasn't a real home game and it's Jaguars territory and blah blah blah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm gonna go New England as well. I think Drake May, he's fun, man. I don't want him to be too fun, but they can win a couple games that don't matter. That's fine with me. Yeah, he can grow this year, and then hopefully they screw up and they trade him away to some other team that we don't have to play all the time. Real quick, Jarrod sent us the pick'ems. This is the tightest pick'ems race that we've ever had since we started doing this, which I think has been at least 3 seasons, if not 4. He said Scott and I went 4-0 this weekend, and he went 3-1. Our records on the season right now are 21-11 for myself and Scott, and 20-12 for Jarrod. So we're getting a little better at this. We should start doing a guest one too. You know what I mean? Like a cumulative guest thing. Yeah. Miami at Indy. Scott, we'll start with you, buddy. What do you think? Miami at Indy. No Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah, we should never hear his name playing in the NFL again. I'm going home teams. I'm going home teams this week. Every one of our AFC East division rivals are playing away, so I'm going to go Indy with this one, guys. It does sound like he is going to come back in, I think 2 weeks. They're talking possibly. Jerry, what do you think? Miami at Indy?
I think I'm going with Indy. I don't think Miami is grasping anything yet, and it's fun to watch. So I'm going to continue to root against them. Go Colts.
Patrick Patrick lives in Florida, and he said, I'd rather have another hurricane than watch the Patriots Jags dumpster fires. This guy. Brad, what do do New England or Miami, Indy?
I'll never pick Miami. I'm going Indy.
Yes.
Go Flacco. Come on, old man. Keep it going.
I'm going Indy too. He's not starting.
Oh, is Richardson coming back?
Richardson's coming back, and they somehow that happened, and they went down a point on the spread. They were talking about it on McAfee today. Yeah. It's like they announced Richardson's playing, and now they went down a point.
They're like, son of a.
Oh, gee.
Yeah, I picked Indy as well. The Jets at Pittsburgh. I won't make you guys keep going first. I'll go ahead and say I'm going Pitt. I think it would be amazing if 2 weeks in a row Aaron Rodgers pulled the GM head coach strings that he's been pulling and failed again. Like, I want to hear the press conference next week about why it didn't work now. Yeah. That's what I want to hear. So let's go Pittsburgh. Brad, what do you think?
Man, I think it's going to be a close game. and you said it's at Pittsburgh, so
Yep.
I'd have to lean Pittsburgh with it being at home. But I think the Jets are going to give them a run for their money. We'll see what happens. They got Devontae Adams coming in now. We'll see if that helps them out any with, Wilson freeing him up even more. I think he's a fantastic wide receiver. So,
Yeah.
you get two guys out there that can get separation, it's going to cause a little more issues for the defensive side, and their defense is stout, just like Pittsburgh's is. But I just think right now Pittsburgh offense is probably a little bit in better shape than the Jets. So I'm going to go with Pittsburgh.
Nice. Jerry, what do you think?
Yeah, Pittsburgh just keeps finding a way to win, and I think it's going to continue. So I'm going with Pittsburgh over the Jets, and to be a nice little buffer there too in the division if we pull it off this week.
They're going to find a way right into the playoffs and get booted in the wild card round. I can't wait. Scott, what do you think, buddy?
I have Najee Harris in all my fantasy football leagues as my running backs. He finally had 100 yards rushing and a touchdown. I think he's going to keep
that
it going.
That touchdown was gnarly. I got him in my dynasty, so I'm with you.
The ball's rolling for him. They're calling the right plays, and defensively, the Steelers, I don't think anybody matches up with them right now and at this point. And I believe that they have a better defense than our Bills do right now. So Rodgers on his ass complaining about something. Steelers.
All right. You didn't have to add that last part.
Right now, I'm talking. We got injuries. We're still coming back. We still haven't played full.
I still love you. I'm just joking. Let's see. And the toilet bowl for this evening is going to be a surprise to some and an expectation to others. The Bengals versus the Cleveland Browns, who just lost arguably their best player on offense. I'll go first on this one. Whenever I pick toilet bowl games, I hate the Browns. I'll never pick the Browns. So we're going Bengals right here with Joe Frosted Tip Cool, who I can't stand either. So Bengals. Jerry, what do you think, buddy?
Yeah, I'm going Bengals too. Yeah, Cleveland, like you said, just lost one of their big guys, so they're going to struggle even more than they have been. Cincinnati's going to pull it off.
Nice. This just in, Patrick Hughes says, Scott, you still only have one win in fantasy.
Yeah, well, injuries, my friend. Injuries.
All right, Scott.
Still a lot of games left.
Scott, are you picking the home team on this one?
No, I'm going Bengals with this one. Of course, the Bengals get to play someone when their offensive star is gone. Isn't that how it works?
Yeah, for sure. Brad?
Yeah, I'm same way. Cincinnati, Cleveland's. It's like a dumpster fire there right now for them.
Oh, yeah.
It's not look pretty. So yeah, I'm definitely going with Cincinnati. They got the weapons. Higgins is balling out right now too, and so I think they're getting their swagger back a little bit. Unfortunately, on the offensive side of the ball. So and their defense is decent. So I'm going with Cincinnati.
This curse that the Browns put themselves in with doing this biggest guaranteed contract ever to Deshaun Watson, and now like you're stuck with this guy. Like, what are you gonna do? Are you just gonna pay him and cut him and pay him because he's due $249 million? So you either cough it up and get rid of him and move on and maybe win games, or you just keep going like you're going.
No one else wants him, so you can't trade him.
Yeah, nope.
No one's going to take that contract.
Nope.
You gotta go get a loan.
I love it. Guys, there's 1,035 of you hanging out with us tonight, and we're a little over. Appreciate you guys hanging. We're going to do our final thoughts and sign off for the night. Brad, thank you so much for joining us, man. You're always welcome. You're always such a pleasure. It's a fun show anytime you're on, so thank you for doing this, and let's get your final thought, man.
Final thought, a couple of things. One, excited the rest of the season. We knew no teams, I don't see any teams going undefeated in the NFL, again, just because of the way things are. So we knew we're probably going to have 2-3, losses this year. Unfortunately, we got two of them in the first half of the year. So we got to ball out the rest of the year, and we've got a tough schedule. So I think we're going to be fine. I'm excited about our new addition with Amari Cooper. I think that's going to be tremendous, getting healthy on defense. So looking forward to that. Would like to also just to continue to ask guys, prayers for all these hurricane victims, especially here in North Carolina. My daughter, lived up in Asheville, which was basically, a lot of that area up there was destroyed. Luckily, she had just sold her home and we got her back home. They were still there, but their house didn't get flooded, didn't get destroyed. And,
Oh, man.
they'll save it. So that was all good, but there's a lot of people still hurting. So prayers and love go out to them. Appreciate the prayers from everybody else too, and thoughts for the people that's going through a lot right now. But you know, I always thought football was one of those healing factors too, where people can kind of come together and enjoy some peace outside the storm. Sometimes and hopefully I know with the Bills, sometimes it can give us a little heart attacks every now and then. Maybe it's not so much peaceful, but but it's a
Definitely
team
take your
that
mind off it.
definitely take your mind off other things. But hey, again, I appreciate you
They do it
guys
on
having me
purpose.
on, invite me. I love being on this show. Love just getting a chance to relive some things, talk about football, which is something I still love dearly. And shout out to my son. They're first. They're 2-0 in their conference this year, 3-3 in the
Nice.
season. So
Nice.
they're doing well. He's getting a little playing time now. So
Nice.
we're happy about that. They play on our Navy this week, who's undefeated, I think, still too. So that's going to be a tough one for them. But love you guys. Appreciate you having me on, and go Bills.
Thanks,
I
man.
love you too, man. Thank you so much. It's like I said, it's always a good time, and we should. Now I'm remembering too from the last conversation. We got to hook up the father son show here sometime. I think
Yeah.
it'd be a blast to have him on here and have
Oh,
you
he'd
guys.
have a ball. He would think he was something then. I might not be able to get him through the front door.
There you go. I'll tell you what, my 8-year-old son, he watched Sunday Sessions yesterday. He did not believe Dad is a YouTuber. You're a YouTuber? It's like, yep, it's a thing now.
Famous man,
Yeah, right.
Oh man.
brother Jarrod. What do you got for us this evening?
Yeah, the NFL is a funny league, and if I was up and down like crazy last night watching this game, him and Hahn, just reminded myself, it's still 2020. We're still in it. This game's not truly done until the last seconds roll off. So I know it gets frustrating at times. We have a little mini heart attacks, but these Bills and the coaching pulled it off yesterday, and just continue for that to the coaches and the team to grow throughout the year, and just hold on until it reads 0-0. Keep believing, and then we'll come back next Tuesday and we'll talk about our 5-2 Buffalo Bills. Believe. Love you, Bills Mafia. Can't wait to do this again next week.
I love that, man. I think we know better than any fan base what it means to wait until the very end of the game. Even like it's generational. You're talking about when we were kids, and it's not over till it's over. You're talking about recent games, as recent as 13 seconds or the Hail Mary. Like, it's just not over until it's over, and it can go our way, and it did last night. So enjoy it. I love that, man. Great take.
Hey, can I add one thing real quick? I'm sorry, I don't mean
Whatever
to cut
you
in,
want.
but
Yeah.
well, in the comments here, I see people saying they thank you, Brad, and different comments. I don't know how to join the chat and respond to any of these. So just so everybody knows, I'm not avoiding anybody on the chat. I just don't know how to get to it to respond. So thank you guys. Love the Bills Mafia. I appreciate it. But it's not because I don't want to join the chat and chat back with you, just because I don't know how to get there.
There you go.
Well,
Worried
I'm
about that all
sorry.
night.
It's funny because like I try to get every comment that comes in, and you're talking about hundreds and hundreds, and usually I'm like 10 minutes behind where we're talking, so we're already on to like the Titans game, and people are like, yeah, Aaron Rodgers is blah blah blah. I'm trying to but yeah, I mean, all night, man, and it's usually when you're on, people just they love that you're here, man, and they're always saying so. Yeah, we'll get you set up with that. If you get on Facebook or even YouTube, I think you can see a lot of them. Facebook probably is the place where most of these guys are coming from. So we'll get you set up with that.
Not a problem.
Scooter Magoo, what do you got, buddy?
I'm glad Brad brought up the hurricane stuff, and that's something that a lot of people don't think about, and it's a reality. It's happening. They were hit a bunch of times down there, so thoughts and prayers to them. It does make you understand that this is a game that we love and enjoy. It's just a game, and there's other stresses in the world that should put you over the edge like that. That being said, enjoy these games. I sit down with my son yesterday. Believe it or not, I didn't have one drink because he's worrying more than I am about the Bills game, and it settles me a little bit to know, hey, this is just a game. It makes you realize that when your little 8-year-old is crying over, it's like you will learn someday that this is a game that you love, but it's just a game.
Mhm.
The Bills know what they're doing. The front office knows what they're doing. A lot of Bills fans preaching we should do stuff. They figure it out. That's what they get paid for. Our job is to sit back, fan first perspective, love the show. This is my therapy. I can come and complain, but at the end of the day, the Bills, the front office is going to do what they have to do to make it sure that the Bills go to a championship football game. So enjoy every week. Enjoy your games with your kids, your friends, your family. And October 27th, if you don't know where to watch the football game, you should come out to Doug Kent's Rose Bowl lanes, 24/7 Buff Pandemonium. The K-Gun Report and Sunday Sessions is going to do the Bills Backers Bar there in Newark. We're going to have a show there, a bunch of information coming out. I'm going to put the event out tomorrow. But, guys, Newark's got a Bills Backers Bar. It's a great bar. Swank and the Endless Mountain Derelicts played in it this weekend. A beautiful establishment. They got the good things going on, bowling alley, weasel toss, games, all that good stuff. Come out, enjoy.
That's cornhole for anybody that calls it cornhole and not weasel toss.
But it's a way. There's so much there. You can enjoy the football game, enjoy life, have a couple drinks, and hang out with a bunch of fans.
Yo, it is. It's a great time. And this is the first time we've ever done this where we're actually going to do a live version of Sunday Sessions. Jarrod is going to be on the panel. We're trying to get RT down there as well. We're going to do a 2-hour show right up till 3:30, and then we're hanging at the bar and watching the game. So if you're in the area or want to be in the area, come down, man. FLX Mafia gear will be readily available, and we'll be yelling and laughing and having a couple beverages as well. So just come down and have a great time, man. And I think we got a couple giveaways. We got some cool stuff going on. We've never done this before.
Mhm.
So as many of you that would like to come down, that's the Seahawks game. It's an afternoon game. Please come down, man. It's a really cool spot, and yeah, we're stoked on it. If this goes well, we're gonna do more. So come on down.
Oh yeah.
Good get, man. I almost forgot about that. You did a good job on that. Guys, yeah, it's man, just take in every single one of these. We're already going into week 7. Can you believe it? 4-2, looking good, feeling good. It's a way different kind of tone than it was last Tuesday for this show. Oh man, was that a bummer, Brad? You're so lucky you didn't come on last week.
He was meant to come on this week. Amari Cooper signed, so wide receiver.
Yeah, exactly, dude. It was destined, man. Yeah, one of the things that like I think is super interesting is all these guys that have been ringing the bell for a trade or a signing or McDermott should be fired or what's Bean doing and blah, blah, blah. Not one of them are talking right now. Not one. And we'll forget about all that drama and stress that they caused on social media for the last couple weeks. Like these idiots don't know what they're doing, and now they did it, and now you won't hear anything. You will not hear one word from any of them until a loss or something, controversial happens. So remember that, man. As fastly as these fools appear, they disappear. And you got a good front office that's really making a statement. That being said, you can catch us here every single Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the K-Gun Report, brought to you by 24/7 Buff Pandemonium and the Buff Fan Base, sponsored by 26 Shirts. Go to 26shirts.com. You can also catch Sunday Sessions an hour and a half before kickoff. Holy Jesus, it'll be 11:30 this Sunday. A normal Sunday Sessions, the second one of the season out of 7 games, 11:30. So yeah, come join that, man. We give you the inactives. It's myself, Scooter, and Ryan Thomas from the Thomas Takes Sports podcast. He'll be going live tomorrow, I believe, at 8 o'clock on the Fanbase Network. So check that out. I know he's pumped. He was in the comments tonight, all caps, rallied up, screaming as loud as his keyboard would let him tonight.
He says, as the kids say, it's going to be a banger.
A banger. And now my boy Patrick Hughes thinks that I ignored him, but I have not ignored him, and I'm going to end with this right here. He said, Swank, I'm playing you this week in our fantasy league. So do you want to make a bet? Loser chugs a can of SpaghettiOs live on the K-Gun Report next week. All right, Patrick, I've skirted this for going on 8 weeks. So yes, I will make this bet with you. Loser chugs the SpaghettiOs. And yeah, I'm glad I got almost halfway through the season before I had to do it. So thank you. Hopefully I win. Love you guys very much. Thanks so much for being a part, Brad. Again, thank you so much for being
Thank
here
you,
with us
Brad.
tonight.
Absolutely.
We got 1,100 people viewing and tuning in. Love you so much. Go Bills.
Go
Go
Bills.
Bills.
Go Bills.
Go